give you a quick recap of what I'm going to be covering in this email. So here you go, without waiting on anything. It's from the FOA. It's going to go over what's happening with the recalls, everything from the water pump to the sticky doors. It's going to be talking about the Fisker Cloud. If you need parts, what's the possible solutions there? What's going on with service? What's going on with software versions, whatever software version that is, especially if you have a prior version like 1 point something other. Maybe your OSHA's just never been updated. Possible fobs, NFC cards, and phone as keys. We'll be covering that. That's all in the email. And then something about what's going on with Chase Fisker Finance and the holder rule. I have no idea what that is, and I will read that to you guys, and maybe you guys can enlighten me. So, without further ado, let's jump right into it. Hey, good morning everyone. I have an update from the Fiskers Owners Association. If you have not joined that, I would highly encourage you to do that. This is going to be covering quite a bit of material, and most of it, I'm just going to read it. I may not read it, exactly word for word. Might, just kind of highlight and skip a little bit, but there's quite a bit of information here that I think most Fisker Ocean owners would like to be aware of. Now, if you've gotten this email, all I'm doing is reading the email, okay? Now, a lot of their emails say private, confidential. This one didn't say anything, so I think this one's perfectly fine to go over. The first thing I'm going to talk about is it opens with what's happening with the recalls. Are they happening? When? So it's questions that Fisker Ocean owners probably have. It's talking about the incorrectly displayed warning lights, loss of power recall should be addressed by software 2.1. It says 2.1 is currently being rolled out in the U.S. and there is nothing on the owner's end to initiate the over-the-air update. Fisker must push that out to update your car. FOA, Fisker Owners Association, recommends keeping your car's high voltage battery at 40% plus state of charge, keeping your 12-volt battery in good condition, and having your car in an area with solid 4G connection to maximize the chance of 2.1 being pushed to your car and successfully updated. I've been having my own issues here because I don't have any cellular service at home, and I have been getting a prompt, and it's unclear if that is for 2.1, but it's my understanding that nothing has to be done for 2.1 to install, so I'm not sure what messages are coming up on mine. The next thing is the door handle sticking. The recall involves a test of your door handles, which must be conducted in person with a specialized tool. We imagine that this test would be conducted at the same time when the water pump recall is addressed. So, if this works out correctly, then all of us would get our water pumps, fixed, and they would check the door, and potentially those of us that don't have 2.1 or even 2.2 by then, I'm assuming we could probably get the update then. The water pump failure, Fisker has committed time and budget to completing this recall and provided assurance that the recall repair will continue even after conversion from Chapter 11 to Chapter 7. FOA is trying to seek clarity and better assurances that this resources will be available to execute on these promises. We were informed that the replacement pumps are on their way stateside as we speak. We are working closely with Fisker to determine the in-person service scheduling required to execute these parts once the pumps are available. So I'd say that's a big relief to some of you. What's going on with the Fisker Cloud? Will the native My Fisker app be coming back? What happens to connectivity after the conversion from Chapter 11 to Chapter 7? All right, there are multiple parts of the Fisker Cloud. For now, the portion of the cloud that is used to keep our oceans connected with TomTom navigation, Bluetooth key control, California mode, and feature checking. Those functions should all still remain available past August the 19th. Similar, GPS and telecommunications should be available after the 19th as well. FOA is keeping open communications with Fisker, TomTom, and T-Mobile and are advocating, that's a typo, and are advocating for cloud service continuity until negotiations yield a more permanent solution service structure. No, individuals cannot change the SIM on their vehicles independently. Yes, FOA is looking at GPS, infotainment, navigation alternatives such as Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. No, nothing is definitive with those alternatives. All right, what's going on with parts? I need a windshield or I need XYZ. Based on the owner feedback, technician feedback, ticketing requests, and other resources, we have identified a priority list of parts to source and obtain. The top of that list includes windshields, the window, and solar roof. We are working closely with American Leasing and the European windshield manufacturer that is already invested in the molds that are required to manufacture the windows and windshields for the Ocean. It will still take a while before new windshields will be available in the US and Europe. What's going on with service? FOA is coordinating service requests with Fisker technicians. There are currently hundreds of service requests in queue, and we are prioritizing requests first on vehicles that are 1. Completely non-operational, aka bricked. 2. Those without air conditioning, the actual HVAC, not the air vent functionality. 3. Finally, vehicles that are on 1 point something other version software. There are very few technicians who currently have access to Fisker's proprietary after-sales tools, also known as FAST, which is required to diagnose and rest, that's another typo, the Ocean's various computer systems. If your situation is reflected in 1, 2, or 3, then please submit a service ticket. European UK owners, please send an email to info@fiskeroa.com. Just a second, let me get a drink. What's going on with software version XX? We are fairly confident that all owners will eventually receive software 2.2. I don't know what's in 2.2. I have no idea. From Fisker. 2.1 is being rolled out in the US as we speak, and 2.2 is currently going through homologation. 2.1 and 2.2 should be provided to owners without additional cost. If your vehicles are on 1 point, yada yada, please file a service ticket with FOA, as you will likely need the software updated manually. You do not want to risk 2.1 being accidentally pushed to your car without having all of the prior updates. Yeah, that's very messy, isn't it? For software 3.0 and beyond, they may exist and become available in the future, but software after 2.2 will likely be for a fee to owners. Okay, that's interesting. I would gladly pay for a reasonable fee to get 3.0 if 3.0 includes activating all of the the features that we were originally promised with the Ocean. That's pretty cool. Fobs, NFC Cards, phone is a key. Man, this is one that I desperately want an extra fob for. I mean, oh my gosh, just having one fob is kind of terrifying with the Ocean now. At Chad Sturgill is working on as a storefront and process for owners to order and program their own NFC key cards. That's interesting. The store site will be under the name Electrified Ocean, but is not quite ready yet. There will be announcements once NFC cards are available for purchase. These cards will be in full compliance with Chevalier's requirements. Not sure how to pronounce that name. What's going on with Chase, Fisker Finance, and the holder rule? I don't even know what they're talking about here. Maybe some of you do. If you do, chime in and let me know. What's going on with Chase, Fisker Finance, and holder rule? I don't know what this is talking about, but I'm going to read it, and then you guys can chime in if you know anything about this. Progress has been made, and a law firm will be preparing next steps for owners interested in starting the arbitration process. The idea is to create a critical mass of arbitration cases to force Chase to the negotiation table. I have no clue what's going on there. You guys enlighten me as to what that may be. All right, guys, that's it. That's a lot of good information there. That's a great update by the FOA. If you have not joined the FOA, I would highly encourage you to do so. So anyway, there you go. Thanks a lot. Thanks for joining in. And hopefully there's better days ahead. And until next time.